it's very clear. Peter goes, guys, while the money was yours, you could do whatever you want with it. Go on vacation, buy a boat, it's yours. It's good, it's fine. There's no pressure. No one's twisting your arm. There was no deeper sermon. It was just, you could do whatever you want, and we wouldn't even judge you about it. Their sin wasn't that they held it back. Their sin was the hypocrisy of pretending to give it all. Their favorites are surrender all, except this over here, except this over here. See how we can all fit into this? They wanted people to think they lived this life of sacrifice, they're sold out for Jesus. But the truth was they weren't. They were wearing a mask. Okay? Hypocrite. Now, my definition of hypocrite is to know the truth and not live it. This is what actually helped me get saved. I'll get into that in a bit. But when it started to bother me that I knew there was more to Jesus than I was living, and I was still resisting and pushing it away, until I realized, man, I'm a hypocrite, because I knew there's more to Jesus. I just wasn't living it. So, verse 3, Peter goes up to Ananias. Now you gotta admit, everybody else is going, whoa, this church is on fire, man. First Barnabas sells land and he gives money. Now Ananias sells land and he gives money. And you gotta admit, what, 95%, 99% of those people are going, wow, I'm so impressed with Ananias. And Peter sees right through the guy. He says, you know what, I'm not impressed. Matter of fact, he just heard what's going on. He goes, why has Satan filled your heart? That's a curious way to put it. It's the same word as Peter and the apostles are filled with the Spirit. Why has Satan filled your heart? Now, Peter had heard something like this before, remember? Remember in Matthew chapter 16, Jesus asked the apostles, hey, so who are people saying I am anyway? Now you're John the Baptist, I do this and that. And Jesus then turned it around. Well, who do you say that I am? And remember, Peter goes, well, you're the Son of God. You're the Christ, the Son of the living God. And as if everybody knows that. Remember, Jesus said, Peter, flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. You didn't learn this in school, okay? My Father in heaven has revealed this to you. So Peter's on this roll thinking, God reveals things to me. Okay? Little respect, people. The next thing out of Jesus' mouth, by the way, I'm going to, Jerusalem. I'm going to get crucified. Peter's there going, you know what? I'm on hold here. Peter, Jesus, that's not going to happen. Okay, buddy? We got your back. We're not going to let this cute. It's at that point, and if you're reading this right, Jesus turns to Peter, looks him right in the eye, and says, get behind me, Satan. What if Jesus said that to you? I mean, I like it when he calls me Mike. But when he goes, hey, get behind me, Satan, I'd be going, why did you do that? Why did you call me Satan? Because then he goes on, get behind me, Satan, because you have man's interest instead of God's interest. So Peter knew, man, this thing, what does he say? He's not saying that you're demon-possessed, Peter. When he says, get behind me, Satan, he says, you're operating in demonic wisdom. Remember James chapter 3 gives you the difference between wisdom from above, pure, peaceful, willing to yield. Wisdom from above, from beneath is satanic. It's demonic. It's sensual, it says. So right now, he's not saying you're possessed by Satan. He's saying you're operating in Satan's wisdom. Notice Peter doesn't have this, quote, delivery ministry. What is that? There's churches today that think if you have a problem like this, well, let's cast out a certain demon. So if you have a problem with lust, let's cast out the demon of lust. If you have a problem with lying, let's cast out the demon of lying. Guys, my problem is my flesh, okay? You can't cast that out. I got this flesh with me 24/7. It comes with me wherever I go. You can't cast that out. And here, if it was just a simple matter of casting out a demon, Peter would have said, Ananias, Satan's filled your heart. Come out in the name of Jesus. He didn't do that. Because that's not the issue. Your flesh, my flesh is the issue. And so, no deliverance ministry here. Matter of fact, it was the opposite. It said, you conceive this. This is up to you. It's not that Satan made you do it. If you're cool enough much remember Flip Wilson? Yeah? The devil made me do it. It doesn't work, guys. The devil doesn't make you do anything. He doesn't twist your arm. He can influence you. He can try to seduce you into something, and all that, tempt you. But it was you, Ananias. You and your wife were, don't blame this on the devil. Of course, maybe he came up with it, but you carried it out. You're the ones who need to take responsibility for your sin and don't blame it on somebody else. Now, lest we get an idea that is all giving is wrong, just real quick, if you keep your hand there in Acts 5 and turn to 2 Corinthians 8 and 9, it tells us how to give. All right? And it's just want to point out a quick few things here. Verse 5 of chapter 8, it says, they first gave themselves to the Lord and then to us. A lot of people don't give because they've never given themselves to the Lord. You understand? God doesn't need my wallet. He doesn't want my wallet if he doesn't have my heart. Here's the idea. They first gave him their hearts. God, I'm yours. I'm yours. And I'm a package deal, okay? So I'm here, you got my truck, you got my, whatever you need, it's yours now. I'm just a steward. I'm an overseer of what you've entrusted me with, okay? And so a lot of people don't give because they never give their heart. It's very simple. Now, verse 9, also chapter 8, is for you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that you, through his poverty, might become rich. So here he's saying, okay, it's grace giving, and Jesus is our example. Meaning, there was a time before the cross, and Jesus was in heaven, and he was pretty comfortable in heaven, receiving praise from the angels, all that. Jesus was rich. He became poor for our sakes. And he's saying, just follow his example. We're pretty comfortable compared to a lot of people in the world. Sit down, follow what Jesus did, but it was grace giving. And then he goes on in verse 12, he says, you know what? It needs to be a willing mind, willing heart. And if your mind is willing, then it's according to what you have, not what you don't have. In other words, I wish this morning I could write a check for $500,000 or $750,000 for a need I know about in India. Now, I'm not saying this hoping that one of you is going to write a check, right? Like that's going to happen. Okay, but if I had it, I would just love to see this need met in India. I don't have it. I have a willing heart, a willing mind, so I don't kick myself for what I can't give, but I want to just give what I can give. So I have given to this thing, and to the gospel praise. It's according to what I do have. All right? Now, if I lost a ton by gambling or something really stupid, then I could understand kicking myself. Like, man, I could have given that to the Lord. You know? But he's saying, look, when your heart is right and your mind is right, don't kick yourself by what you can't give. It's according to what you can give. Then in chapter 9, verse 6, he gives this great principle for giving. He says, giving, let's explain this spiritual principle with a physical principle. So we